What's going on? Y'all, it's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing. I'm going over something that needs to be updated. So many people have been making requests to this, which is my variant of Dark Magicians. It was like such a successful video when I did the Dark Magician spellbook. And a lot of people have been saying, dude, can you please update this variant? One dude was like, this outheats every Dark Magician deck. So many requests. I was like, oh my god, man, this has been on my to-do list so long. We need to get this out of the way. So we're going to go over an update on my Dark Magician spellbooks. It has indeed changed drastically in comparison to how it used to be. The thing was, I got a lot of reviews that said, you know what, this deck has a lot of draw power, but it doesn't do anything but draw. It just draws into more cards to draw. And I was like, oh my god, I had to just check myself, you know, kind of like review the deck. And I was like, you know what, these guys are actually right. This deck just draws and it doesn't have any competitive, you know, aspect to it except for like Dark Magical Circle, you know, Soul Navigation and Spellbook of Fate. While those cards are nice for banishing, you need the deck needed a lot more interactive cards to be competitive, because basically the way people saw it was like, dude, this deck can never be competitive because you're not running strong enough, you know, traps and different versatility in your spells. So I actually had to check myself. And I was like, you know what, these guys are actually right. You know, one dude was like, hey man, this deck sucks. You know, all it does is draw. And I was like, dang dude, you're right. So I need to change this deck to make it more competitive and also to please you guys, because I want y'all to be happy overall. At the end of the day, if you're not satisfied with my deck, I have to change it until you are satisfied with it. So we're going to hop right into this main deck. Starting off with the monsters, we played 3 copies of Dark Magician himself. This is Team King of Games, of course, and he belongs to the King of Games. And we played 2 Magician of Dark Illusion. I don't want to brick on this card, and for some odd reason, I do brick on the card. So I was like, let's cut it down to 2, because I was drawing multiples of it, like a lot, and then sometimes I was drawing it when I was like, man, I wish this was another card. So 2 works out fine for me. I just like it at 2. And for the normal summons of the deck, we played 3. We played 3 copies of my blue boy, sexy OTs, baby. You gotta play them 4 and OTs, and you never draw them. Then we also played 3 copies of Magician's Rod. Rod and Blue Boy, the only normal summons, and they're actually really powerful because they kickstart either engine, whether it's the Spellbook engine or if you're trying to get your circle plays popping, you know, banishing your opponent's cards and making rank 7s. That's pretty much how you're going to do it. So those are the normal summons, and then the Dark Magician and his Illusion, which technically this is just Dark Magician's Shadow. It's literally just his Shadow. They have reverse stats and everything. It's really cool. Everything makes sense. But these are the monsters that you're going to be bringing out. And then for the hand traps of the deck, we're not playing hand traps. So we're going to move the blue boys, the 3 rods, and then the Dark Magicians out the way. Now we're going to start off with playing 3 copies of Ash Blossom, Enjoy Spring. We also played 3 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Ultis, baby. You got to play the ultis or you won't draw them. And that one blinged out Maxi, because Maxi is the best hand trap in the game, no matter what anybody says. There's no hand trap right now that has been hit on the ban list multiple times except for Maxi. So you play the 7 hand traps. To sum up the monster count, like I said, I wanted to change it up to be a bit more competitive. The deck still has like endless draw power, but now you're drawing cards like Ash, Ogre, Maxi. You're drawing other powerful traps that allow you to actually play in a competitive meta scene. Starting off with spells, we play a lot. We play 3 Dark Magical Circle. We play 3 copies of Spellbook of Secrets. Ulti Foreigns, you got to play them, son. 3 copies of these blinged out Ulti Terraformings. I'll explain the spells when I get done, because some of this might catch you off guard. So starting off, the portion of the spells that we're on right now are the Searchers. So we're doing the Searchers. We played 2 Illusion Magic, which is another Searcher. The closest thing you can ever get to adding any card from your deck to your hand is definitely Duality. It doesn't literally do that, but it reveals 3. And it's the closest card that Konami could have ever made that literally says, play this and add any card from your deck to your hand. So this is considered the Searcher to me. So now we're going to explain the searching segment of the deck. Circle is very mandatory. It's the only way you're really going to get the maximum value out of Soul and Navigation and how you play in your opponent's turn, really. Of course, it lets you search. Secrets is an absolute mandatory 3-of, because it not only cycles through your entire Spellbook engine, but it gets you straight to Knowledge, which gets you straight to the draw power and the generic +1 for spellcasters, which could be normal summon Rod. Rod's affect the search, Secret, search, Knowledge, draw 2. Now you've just got a +1. You're at 6 cards in hand. The Terraformings is an interesting tech that I want to try out. Gotta play the Ulti Terraforming, son, because I really like the Spellbook Grand Tower. The Grand Tower is so powerful to me. I like it a lot. There's a lot of games where it has actually kept me alive And in keeping everything in rotation, when I run out of targets or if Desire is banished, one of my fates not only have one fate left, I have to keep using Tower to put fates back. That's really what I like to do because fate is such a powerful card. If I can trigger circle on my opponent's turn to banish their card and activate fate and banish another card, that's very, very powerful. And if you're going for your game push, you literally go Ebon Illusion banish, circle banish, fate banish. You banish 3 cards in one turn. Terraforming helps you to keep that in rotation. In addition to that, Terraforming allows you to have extra copies of your towers, so you don't have to waste a secrets or a master. You don't have to waste a search on towers. And also towers puts eternity back. Eternity puts back all your banished targets for fate. So it's just so broken. I had to play 3 Optimus Prime. That's what I call Terraforming. It's just way too strong for so many different reasons. We also play, let's put the flash onto this thing. Where's my flash? Bam. That's a lot better. That's a lot better viewing. It's better quality. The video just looks a lot more clear. We play Illusion Magic. It's pretty much standard. You have to get your Dark Magicians right away, whether it's from deck or grave. And the dualities just make sense. You don't special summon on your first turn. So it's like opening up with it doesn't put you under any restriction really. Duality also lets you dig deeper into your deck for your hand traps. I already explained the terraforming, like it's just way too good. You should try it out in your list because Tower will actually put in a lot more work than you think. And it also, in addition to recycle, Tower gives you an additional draw every single turn. Like drawing more cards is just way too broken. Just digging through your deck, the three secrets and the 3 dark magical circle. So these are the searchers, and the next segment of the spells is going to be our draw power. So we play a bit of draw power, and the draw power is also searchable. Starting off, we play 3 copies of Pot of Desires. Yeah, it's a reprint. I was trying to go max ready on this deck. In fact, I think I have 24 ultimate rares in the main deck. But I didn't want to take out my OG secrets from my Herald of Perfection deck. I just didn't want to do it. I love my Heralds too much. We played 3 pots because, believe it or not, this deck is not 40 cards. It's a huge deck. And resolving multiple desires never hurts you. In fact, it helps you to just thin out your deck faster. We also play 2 Spellbook of Knowledge. I do have 3. The third one's right here. Ultimately, what it came down to was, would you rather play another trap or just keep the 3rd knowledge in? And instead of playing the 3rd knowledge, I decided to add in another trap that I really needed. You'll see when we get to the trap. So 2 knowledge, you actually recycle it from your banish zone or from your graveyard back into your deck with Tower and Eternity. So even though you play 2, you can resolve it as many times as you possibly can, the duel. 2 copies of Wonder Wand. This actually helps your Dark Magician to beat over huger monsters. It also helps Illusion Magician out a lot because he's only at 25. So you play it because it's draw power, but also it helps you to beat over things. Even a 2100 rod is no joke. In addition to that, if you can power your monster, give it 1000, and then activate this, Dark Magician becomes a 4000 beater. And with Eternal Soul, you know, he's basically like, let me read Eternal Soul real fast. Because he says, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it says that your Dark Magician is unaffected by your opponent's card effects. So you basically have a 4000 attack Dark Magician that's unaffected by everything. So you can't even beat over him, which I think is awesome. Yeah, I did read it right. So basically, Eternal Soul, with your with this combo, you basically get a 4000 Dark Magician that can't be touched. That's crazy, dude. And whenever you want to, you just sack it off and draw 2 cards. So this is draw power in addition to that. You gotta play the ultis or you won't draw it. I was thinking about 3, but then I was like, this is situational. You have to control a monster, so I don't want to like maximize on it because I don't want brick hands. 1 Allure. I have more. There's actually another. No, those are. Oh yeah, the Into the Voids. Oh yeah, here we go. I have another Allure. This is a very stupid reason why I play 1 and not 3. Because I could play 3. They're not ultis. This was an ulti and this wasn't. That was literally my reason for playing 1 Allure. I should be playing more. At least 2. I wouldn't want to play 3 because you actually don't want to banish 3 of your darks because you play 8 of them, which is 3 rods, 3 Dark Magician, and 2 Illusion. And you really don't want to banish any of them, but it's nice to have the draw 2 effect. So I was like, why not? Let's just put the Allure. In my previous list, I think it was at 3, and I just cut it down to just the 1. It's nice to have, and I was like, you know what? You're playing darks, why not play Allure? And that's kind of what it was, but it's not mandatory. And then continuing, we play 2 of La Grande Tour Livre de Magie. The best field spell in the deck, the only field spell you really need. It's insane. It recycles itself. It's really retarded. So Terraforming actually doesn't run out of targets. It's really, really strong for so many reasons. It's just way too powerful for your grind games. Extra draw every turn really helps, and recycling your spellbooks really helps a lot. We also play Master. This could be a draw spell. It could be a search spell. It can be add from your banish zone to your hand. It can be give your spellcaster another 1,000, so you'll have a 4,500 attack Dark Magician. 45 is huge. I mean, it's just any spellbook you want it to be. So it's a definition of an extender, because every spell that's a hard once per turn, this breaks that rule and says now you can activate it twice per turn. You play the one Eternity, and I personally play 2 copies of Spellbook of Fate. This is one of the main reasons why the Spellbook engine is so hefty in this deck, to have enough targets to resolve Fate to banish a card on the field, which is pretty powerful because it doesn't target either. So as long as you have a spellcaster, you can get rid of any card you want. It doesn't matter what it is. 1 Wisdom. This is in case your opponent hits your Eternal Soul and try to blow up your field. You can chain Wisdom and make your monster unaffected by traps, so Eternal Soul would not destroy your monster. You also play the 1 Power. Power is perfect at 1 in my opinion. You can master to override that effect and then double up the power and then get 2 searches. But it's still just like, it's like a Spellbook of Secrets for the battle phase. It basically just searches more. And then of course the ulti Raigeki. I wanted to put in stronger cards to draw that actually do something. I took you guys' advice. You said I was putting in too much draw power and it wasn't doing anything. Now we're drawing into cards that actually do stuff. The Fate, the Raigeki, the hand traps. You're gonna see even more. And don't forget, you actually need to draw a lot to get to your Dark Magical Circle and your Eternal Soul setup. If you have Circle and Eternal Soul, that's a pretty strong setup, because every turn you're gonna get guaranteed banishes and keep maintaining your field presence to have knowledge targets, Fate targets, because you have to control spellcasters, master targets. It's just so broken. Then for the traps, we play I think 12. We play 3 Solemn Strikes, ulti or you won't draw it, and 1 Solemn Warning. I wanted to have stronger cards in the deck, so instead of playing just too much draw power, as you see, we have more lores, more knowledge. We have Into the Voids, ultis, baby. We could have played Card of Demise like I did in the past, another master, the Wisdom, you know, another duality, life. There's a lot of other cards that I could have played that were just more draw power, and I decided to play actual powerful cards that do something. So we have the Solemn Brigade, and then, believe it or not, whoo, we're main decking Evenly Matched, bro. This deck draws way too much. You have to draw into that Evenly Match. It's inevitable that this deck is going to draw into this card. Evenly Matched was one of the most powerful cards to draw into in this deck for this format. So it's like either the hand traps, the Raigeki, the Solemns, or Evenly Matched. Those are the powerful cards that you're drawing into that allow you to not only establish yourself, but make sure that your opponent really has a hard time playing against you. 3 Eternal Soul, and then 2 Navigation and not 3, because you're not only are you not always going to have Dark Magician in this deck, because it's not 40 cards, but at the same time, multiples tends to brick. If I see 2 of this and I have 1 Dark Magician in hand, I can only resolve 1, and then that other one tends to be something that you can resolve later, but it could have been something that you could use right now. So I chose 2 Navigation. It's just personal preference, honestly. So that sums up the traps and actually the main deck. Now going forward to the extra deck, we play 2 Ebon Illusion, 2 Ebon High. I like 2 of each, because there are certain games when these cards are the actual stars of your extra deck. You'll burn through multiples. Like certain matchups, he's insane. Like this card's just retarded. And then Ebon Illusion is kind of good in like every matchup. You kind of have to play 2 of him. I also play 2 Big Eyes, because there are certain matchups when there's just monsters that you really like to have, and then at the same time he's a spellcaster. In addition to that, he just helps you to play around a lot of annoying and pesky monsters that you just really can't get over. It could be a monster that's like immune to spells and you can't banish it because all your banishing effects are spells. And then it could be like immune to, you know, like, I don't know, like it just could be something that just can't be banished, for example. It could be a Metaphys that's like, this guy can't be banished. Who knows? But I just have the 2 Big Eyes because there's a safe lock. Just at the offset chance that there's a monster that I can't banish or just get over in my main deck, I'll just take control of it instead. And then we also have Hierophant of Prophecy. This guy is basically Heavy Storm. In simple blatant terms. 1 Draco Sack. He's pretty strong, even in Link format. The summoning tokens matters. 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon to finish things off. When you resolve the perfect combo, you get to summon Ebon Illusion. Then you summon Dark Magician off of Eternal Soul and use his effect to summon a Dark Magician from your deck. You attack and you banish 1, and you banish, of course, off a circle. You attack for 7,500. 7,500. So sometimes that just leaves your opponent wide open for that Red Eyes Flare Metal play. So if you're able to make it, for example, if you play links, you could just link them off or however you want to do it and just make your Red Eyes Flare. But the deck can put a lot of damage on board, but not every time is it going to be exactly 8,000. So he just finishes things off. I'm not saying that you can make Ebon Illusion and then make Red Eyes Flare Metal right after that, because we are in link format. Master Rule 4 applies. but he's there because it does really make a difference for finishing your opponent off as fast as possible. Ada is absolute. You'll see the spicy tech in a minute. Titanic Moth is an insanely powerful rank 7. He's way too good. You play Vortex because you play Absolute. So you make Absolute, and if you need to float, you go into Vortex and bounce a face a monster they have to get a guaranteed poke for damage. It's a really nice combo. And I thought, you know what? Since I'm not playing Winter Cherries, I might as well just load my extra deck with as many options as possible. Then I'll play Double Break Sword. It comes up a lot because you have the hand traps in Rod, and like sometimes one gets outed like by a strike, or you know, your opponent just doesn't let him resolve his effect, and then it comes up again and you're like, yes, let's go for the Break Sword. And then Levier, because you banish off of a lure. Sometimes your monsters just get banished, period. And for the most part, it's here as a safe. It's basically here as like a safety precaution measure, because it actually allows you to extend your plays a bit further. And losing, like for example, your Rod out of rotation, it puts it back on the field, which goes back to the graveyard, so that you can keep adding Rod from graveyard to hand and keep your Dark Magician engine going. It's just something that it's here. You don't really go into it too much, but it's nice to have. The extra deck is so like free. You can play virtually anything you want. Like I said, you can play every Cherries target you could possibly think of. That sums up the deck profile. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless you. I love y'all. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. And y'all enjoy life. I'm out.